Hi there, I'm Miss K, and this is a quick video tutorial on calculating percentages. For the purposes of this video, we're really approaching application of percentages, and we're using decimal operations to do so. If you're unfamiliar with calculating percentages, kind of the basics, or your decimal operations, those might be things to address prior to watching this video. If you feel like you're ready, let's jump in. Here we have a problem that asks us to calculate a 5% tax on $212. This is a really common application type for percent problems. In fact, you see this type of problem in 6th grade. You calculate 5%, and then because it's a tax, that means it's extra money you're paying, you add it onto the original price. Now, for the 7th grade standard, I want you to consider what total percent you're going to be paying in this problem. So, whatever I'm buying that's $212, I want to be paying 100% of that cost, but I'm also having to pay 5%, an extra 5% because of the tax. So realistically, I'm paying 105%. Now, to calculate this problem, instead of finding 5% separately and then adding it onto the original price, I want to work on using this percent in the problem. Now, what's the decimal equivalent to 105%. Remember that you can divide that by 100, or some people think of it as moving the decimal over 2 times. So the decimal equivalent, let me write this, is 1.05. Once we know that information, we can take 212 and multiply it by the percent, 1.05, and we'll end up with the answer to this problem. So let's do that. 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6, and then 5 times the other 2 is 10 again. Now my next row is a 0, so I'm going to skip that and move to the 1. But because I'm skipping over a row where I would add 1 0, I have to remember that I'm now adding 2 zeros to my multiplication. Then I multiply by 1 across, which is pretty straightforward multiplication. And now I add these numbers together, and I have to figure out where would my decimal go. Now going back to the problem, I only have 2 numbers after any decimal place in the original problem, which means I need 2 numbers after the decimal place in my answer, which means that a 5% tax on $212 leaves me paying $222.60. Let's try another. Here we have a very similar problem, but it's slightly different because we're working with a discount. So typically, if I was buying something that was $450, I'd be paying 100%. In this case, I'm actually saving 12%. So instead of adding it on, I'm going to subtract it. That leaves me paying 88% of that $450. Now again, I want to be thinking about the decimal equivalents so that I can multiply. The decimal equivalence for 88% is 0.88. So that's what I'll use in my multiplication problem. Let's go ahead and do that. You can put the 0 in the problem. It doesn't really make a difference here, but I will put it just for the sake of understanding where my decimal place is and really identifying that location. Now, first we multiply by the 8 on the rightmost side. That gives us 0, then 40, then 36. When we move to the second 8, remember to start your second row with a 0. And then we do the exact same math. So we get 0, 0, 6, 3. Just like before, we will add these numbers together. And we'll look to see how many decimal places we need in this problem. Again, I have 2 decimal places in my problem, so I want 2 decimal places in my answer. That tells me that a 12% discount on $450 leaves me with a total of $396.00. I hope that helps you to make sense of a more efficient method for finding tax and discounts. Now, can you find 12% separately and then subtract it from the original price? Of course. It's still an accurate way to find a percent off. However, this method presents a method that is a little more efficient in getting to the answer quickly. So, thanks for being here. Have a great day. Good luck with your percentages.